Hey everybody, it's Justice for Comics. Instead of just recording this on my typical tripod with my phone, it just seems easier to use. Do a live stream real quick. If anybody shows up in the live stream, that'd be great. No big deal. Most of you are going to catch this on a recording. So this is my review of last week's Hot 10 list, CBSI, the Hot 10 list that comes out every Friday. I was, Thanksgiving was last week. I just got preoccupied with too many things. Went away for the weekend to one of the theme parks. So just had a lot going on. Didn't have time to do a live stream or to shoot this video. So better late than never, I guess. So I'm going to review it, and it should be a good list here. I did take a quick look at it. There are some interesting books on there this week. A lot of movement in the comic book market. So let me do this here. Let's see here. Hold on a second. It looks like I've got an ad here. There we go. All right. Hopefully that looks correct on the screen. So this is the week ending November 26th, last Friday. This is your Hot 10 list, books that are on the move this week for one reason or the other. Maybe a book just came out, hot cover, new first appearance, option news. Could be a variety of things that are moving a particular comic book. So we're going to go over that. Let's start off with the honorable mentions first. So let's go down to the bottom of the list. This is one that I had looked at buying years and years ago. It's always been an expensive book, but man, it's really, really expensive now. I was probably looking at like 7 to 8.0s, and it was in the thousands, but it wasn't anywhere near what it is now. This is Looney Tunes and Merry Melodies #1. This is an old comic book from the 1940s, Golden Age. First appearance of Bugs Bunny, Porky the Pig, Elmer Fudd, Daffy Duck. It's a great, it's a marquee issue in comic book world. Looney Tunes are always going to be somewhat popular, at least culturally. It seems that way. They've had a long history. They've been around since the 40s and 50s. I remember watching the Looney Tunes when I was a kid, cartoons. Kids today, I don't really think they're familiar with Looney Tunes. A lot of them, maybe through the Space Jam movies. Space Jam 2 just came out. So, younger kids today might be familiar with them just through those movies. But if you're a child from the 70s and 80s, you definitely were familiar with the Looney Tunes. So that was a Saturday morning cartoon. Not only kids watched, but a lot of parents watched too. I remember my dad watching that with me and laughing and thinking it was pretty funny. Especially the Elmer Fudd, Daffy Duck hunting and Bugs Bunny hunting season. I think that was the name of it, the hunting season. That was pretty good. So a great comic book. Man, a 5.5 sold this past week for $13,200. 3 times what a 6.0 copy sold just last year. So, guys, when I was looking at this book, I was looking at like 7 to 8.0 ranges, and it was even back. This was probably 3 or 4 years ago at least, maybe a little longer than that. And I remember like an 8.0 was probably like $4,000 to $5,000, which I thought, man, that's so expensive. Maybe a 7.0 was in the $2,000 to $3,000 range. Man, would those have been good purchases? Holy crap. A 5.5 sold for 13.2. So you can only imagine what an 8.0 would sell for. Now, granted, there are very few high grade copies. Anything above a 9.0, I think there's just a handful in above 9.0 if you look at the grading census. But there are a few in the 7 to 8.0 range, and a lot more in the low grade range. So still, this is not a book that get sold very often. People that buy this book tend to hold on to it, so you're not going to see a lot of sales of this book, but it's definitely one to keep an eye on, especially if you run across it out in the wild. Maybe you find it at an old comic shop or somebody turns in a collection. I know a lot of you out there buy comic book collections. Man, that would be a great treasure to find that in a collection. All right, the next one, honorable mention, is Jonah Hex, number 50, the Darren Cook 1 in 10 variant. Going for $50. It says if you've been reading this column for any amount of time, you will have seen some of these random DC 1 in 10s from a decade ago pop up from time to time. They are not easy to find and usually are great covers. This one is no different from the late, great Darwin Cook. He did pass away a few years ago. I think it's been like 4 or 5 years at least now. Yeah, it's just a cool looking cover. Great artist. And I think he died pretty early. I think he was sick or something, if I remember right. All right, number 10 on the list is Street Fighter versus Dark Stalkers number 0, the Joe Varenz variant. Cool looking cover. It's definitely going for big money now. I looked on eBay. I think you can get it around $80 right now, $65 raw, maybe there could be somebody that throws one up there. I would like to buy this in the $40 to $50 range. I think it is a cool cover. I do like the Street Fighter comic books. A lot of them are very collectible, especially if you've been collecting the Delato covers of Street Fighter lately. He's got a couple of them out there. I think he has 3 different covers. There's a John Guion cover of Street Fighter. Yeah, there's some really cool covers out there, and there's always going to be people that are interested in Street Fighter because of the video game series. So that's just one of those books, and that's just a cool cover. So I can see why the demand is pretty good for that. Number 9 on the list is Hawkeye number 11. I did watch the first 2 episodes of Hawkeye. I liked it. I thought it was pretty cool. I like the character. Jeremy Renner, I think, plays Hawkeye, and yeah, I like him. I think he's a good actor. In fact, I've been watching him on another TV series on Paramount. I highly recommend it. It's called Mayor of Kingston. He plays basically a cop / lawyer. I don't know. He's working with the feds. It's a pretty interesting TV show. I'd highly recommend it. It's definitely mature, so be aware of that. But this issue's hot because I guess Lucky is on the cover. The dog shows up in the first episode. He's only got one eye. I mean, I don't know. Does this have any long-term staying power? I don't think so. If you've got an extra copy and someone wants to pay you $40 to $50 for it, and you paid, $3 for it, $4 for it, I would definitely sell it. I don't think this has long-term staying power. It's just the first appearance of a dog that shows up in a comic book series. I don't think it's all that pivotal. Number 8 is War of the Realms, New Agents of Atlas. Number 1, the Patrick Zurcher 1 in 50 variant. I do have the regular War of the Realms, New Agents of Atlas number 1. There's a bunch of first appearances in there. It is a marquee book, a key book to have in your collection. The 1 in 50 is definitely pricey at this point. Raws are going to be, I don't know. I don't even know what the Raws are selling for, but it looks like a 9.8 sold for about $1,700. And here the comment is, if the 1 in 50 sells for almost $2,000, the A cover is way undervalued at less than $175. It says, I do like this title as a long-term play, though. Yeah, I think it's a good book to have in your collection. Issue 1 and 2 are both good to have in your collection. Issue 2, I think there's a first appearance of Swordmaster. There's a couple other first appearances. So, yeah, the first 2 issues definitely are worth grabbing if you can get them pretty cheap. I bought them a few months ago really, really inexpensively. So that's one of the reasons I picked them up. Number 7 is Daredevil number 11. Another early appearance of Echo, not her first appearance. That is issue 9, and first cover appearance is 10. But I guess this issue, she dons the Echo costume and all that good stuff. So I don't think it's that pivotal of an issue, but It's a cool cover. I don't have this one. I have 9 and 10. 11 wasn't even on the radar for me, just because it's not her first appearance. It's just, I guess she dons the costume. To me, that's a minor key. So not one I would go heavy for, but a 9.8 just sold for 250 this past week. Number 6 is Kanan, the Last Padawan. Number 6, 9.8 just sold for $700. Says, throwing out the debate of when Sabine's first appearance actually is, my question is, why hasn't she got her own series or been on a cover other than the Star Wars Insider magazine? Clearly a popular character. You'd have thought Disney Marvel would have started milking that cow at this point. I don't know. At this point, I'm looking forward to the Boba Fett series and the Mandalorian season 3, or is it season 4? Season 4 rather, of Mandalorian. Those seem to be the winners. I'm very skeptical of any other Star Wars franchise being developed, so I wouldn't go heavy betting on this book, but I know a lot of people are right now. My advice is to stay away from it. I think it's way overinflated. Number 5 is Hawkeye number 2. Again, the Hawkeye series seems to be doing well right now. A lot of attention on this series. It's basically based on this, I think it's a 2012 series by Matt Fraction and David Aja. I have every single issue of that series, at least the first prints, couple second prints. I don't have every printing, but I do have all the first prints of issue 1 through whatever it is. Can't remember how many issues it was, like 1 through 30 or something. This is the purple third print, which is probably a little lower print run, selling around $50. So that is getting a little bump in price. Number 4 is Cowboy Bebop. Number 1. I attempted to watch the Netflix show. I didn't think it was very good. 9.8 just sold for $650, and a 9.6 sold for $450. Those are the first appearances of the character. I don't know the publisher. I think this came out several years ago. So it's not the one that you're seeing advertised, in shops right now, the newest version. I think there's an Art Germ cover of the new version, but it's actually an older comic book, anime comic book. Says raw copies will run you about $350 right now. Says it's weird to see an increase in price when reviews for the show have been average at best. Yeah, I did not think it was good. I tried watching the first couple episodes. I got bored out of it. I didn't finish it. I didn't think it was good. So I don't know. It just didn't appeal to me for some reason. Number 3 is Hitmonkey number 1, the second print. Hitmonkey's been on the list quite a bit in the last year or so. First appearance of somebody, I can't remember who it is. I'm sure somebody will chime in the comments later. Hitmonkey. Damn, I can't remember who's let me look it up real quick on eBay. It's going to drive me nuts if I don't know. Hitmonkey number 1. I'll look on eBay real quick. Oh, first appearance of first appearance of Hitmonkey, I guess. I thought there was somebody else that appeared in this comic book issue, but I guess there is going to be a TV show developed. Man, it sounds like bomb. To me, that I don't know. I mean, maybe I'll be pleasantly surprised. But to me, it looks like it looks like a show that could easily bomb. So I would be warning everyone to be very careful going heavy on this first print and second print. They're already very expensive. If the show doesn't do well, you could expect the prices of this book to drop like a stone. So I would be very, very careful picking any of those issues up right now. Number 2 on the list is Wonder Woman Black and Gold. Number 6, the David Nakayama 1 in 25 variant. Really cool looking cover. Man, that's a beautiful cover. I did pre-order one of these for $25 through one of the online purveyors. I should be getting that in the next few weeks, hopefully. Just a really cool cover. I love the art on this, and apparently it's a hot book right now. I checked eBay, 150 seems to be the average price right now for this book. So obviously, when this list came out on Friday, it gave a boost to the book right now. This came out last Wednesday. I did call around a couple shops to see if they had any, and it had already been spoken for. So yeah, there was a lot of people that kind of knew about this book coming out. Um, yeah, the variant covers for this Wonder Woman series have been pretty good. There's some cool covers. A lot of shops didn't order real heavy. It is a more expensive book. The regular issues, I think it's like an $8, $9 book. So you're not going to see a lot of shops order 25 copies to get one of these bad boys. So probably a book that's fairly low print run. Probably not a lot of them out there. That's why the price is so high. And I would imagine the price will stay high on that for a while. So if you're looking to pick that up, maybe in a couple months, you'll see a little dip in price. Maybe it'll dip down to $100. I don't think it would go a little below 100 though, in my opinion, but well, we'll see what happens. Number one is Superman, Son of Kal-El. Number one, the third print, John Timms 1 in 50 variant. Again, this is a third print, 1 in 50. I mean, it's a little crazy. Going for $150. Ben's comment is anyone's surprise? Controversy sells, even if that controversy is unintended. This is not a great cover. It looks like they don't even have a face. Reminds me of Neo in the interrogation room in the Matrix. Yeah. Whatever. It's one of these books that's hot for a couple minutes, and a couple months. I would imagine the price won't be so hot on this book. That's just my guess on it. I don't know. I mean, controversy. Okay, it is. I suppose it's controversy to who? To people that really don't want the image of Superman being changed in any way, I suppose. But again, this is not Clark Kent Superman. This is his son, Jonathan Kent. They're never going to replace Superman. I don't care how many sons or daughters Superman has. There is only one Clark Kent. There's only one Superman. So in my opinion, it's not going to really matter to the legacy of Superman. It's what's hot at the moment. It's trending and people are hot about it. In a couple months to a year from now, I don't think anyone's even going to remember. So I would not chase that book. So on this list this week, I like the second spot, the Wonder Woman Black and Gold number 6. I like that cover. I definitely think that's a decent buy at $100 or under. I don't know if you'll see that anytime soon. I think the Daredevil number 11 is a good pick just because that Echo character seems to be pretty popular and will probably have some staying power for a while. Yeah, I mean, definitely the War of the Realms, New Agents of Atlas number 1. I think that's a good key book to have in your collection. The 1 in 50, though, I don't know. That's just so expensive. And maybe you can get a deal on a raw copy. At this point, I think most people are getting that book graded. So that's going to be a very, very expensive book at this point. And I do like that Street Fighter cover just because it's just a really cool looking cover. So I like number 10. I like number 8. I like number 7. And I like number 2. So I like 4 of the top 10 books. The other ones I don't care for that much. And I think I own Hawkeye number 11. I'm pretty sure I have that cover. I just don't think it's a good value at this point. So that's it, guys. That is your Hot 10 list. Appreciate everybody that kind of tuned in the chat. I'm sorry I don't have a lot of time. I'm going to take my son to his soccer practice now. So most of you will watch this on replay on YouTube. I will have a live stream this Thursday. We're back to a regular Thursday live stream show, Whiskey, Cigar, and Comics. And then, of course, tomorrow afternoon, I will be filming the new comic books coming out the following Wednesday. So I'll have that out for you. And then, of course, Friday, I will be on top of that Hot 10 list. I do think there is going to be a book on there on this coming Friday that I've talked about. If you follow me on Instagram, you've seen me post about it. Spectacular Spider-Man number 178. It's the first appearance of Dr. Kafka, who ends up becoming the Queen Goblin, who is going to be making an appearance in an upcoming issue of Amazing Spider-Man. So do expect that that Spectacular Spider-Man 178 book to continue to be hot. It sells on eBay around $20 to $25 right now. I do think if it does show up on the CBSI Hot 10 list, you'll easily see that to be a $40 to $50 book. So if you can find it at your LCS, I went to a couple LCSs in the last week, and it was picked through. Everyone kind of, I guess, at least in those shops, somebody must have known it was a hot book, because magically that issue and the next one were gone. Everything else in the run was there. So I did end up getting a couple on eBay really cheap. I think my average price was like $15, $10 or $15. It wasn't a whole lot. But I think long term that could be a good spec, just because she could be a major villain in the future for Spider-Man potentially. So it's not a bad idea to pick those up if you can find them, especially if you can get them pretty cheap. But that is going to be a book that I think will show up on the Hot 10 list this week. We'll see. Who knows? It remains to be seen. All right, guys. Hope you're having a good Tuesday evening, and I'll see you soon.